Call to order the regular common council meeting Monday, April 18th, 7 p.m. Roll call.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Confirmation of appropriate meeting notice.
Meeting notices were posted on Friday, April 15th at the library, the post office, city hall, and the website.
Thank you. Also acceptance of agenda.
Make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Personal appearances for non-agenda items, and when the audience that wish to speak on anything that's not on the agenda. Okay, we'll move on to the minutes from April 4th council meeting.
Motion approved.
A second. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's consider approval of the minutes from April 11th, special council meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Committee reports, finance, Candy.
Yes, finance met this evening at 6:15. Motion to approve bills and payroll in the amount of $198,925.97.
I'll second.
Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, motion to approve a supersized facade grants for 11 West Canal Street. Based on RDA's recommendation in the amount of $10,957.50 with the contingency to have the work completed within one year.
And I'll second.
Any discussion?
This is where we wanted to hear from the building owner. There was some discussion before in finance too about the painting of the exterior, and we heard from RDA then as well. Were you planning to side the building in the future? Because that was one of the big questions, I guess, so.
No, what I originally wanted to do was to take the paint off the brick, but I think that's pretty impossible, the quotes that I've gotten. So I want to paint it.
And you just want to paint the facade of the building?
Correct.
Okay. So, I mean, if I understand correctly, then that's what she is wanting to do, is just paint the facade of her building, and that's what it will be. No siding, right?
Well, I mean, that's what
Yeah,
you're
right,
saying, is you do
right.
not have any future
Right.
plans to side the building. That was not something we
Yeah.
were under something, an understanding that was different than that.
So the one side that is mostly block, at one point I wanted to side it, but getting contractors there was impossible, and they kept telling me it would be next year before they could do it. So I'm not willing really to wait till then. So then, now I'm decided I'm gonna paint it.
And I mean, I don't know, historically speaking, when a building in the historic district has been painted in the past or covered, that is acceptable use of facade grant funding. I mean, El Patronus has been repainted. We approved that back in 2019. So that was one of my big points, is that's why, I mean, it was good to get the clarification, and understand that was where we had some confusion, is that I can see where RDA is coming from. If you were going to side it in the future, it wouldn't make sense to use the funds to paint it And if you were just going to cover it up, because that's not an efficient use of city money, so.
Right.
And I would add from our discussions at RDA, we didn't follow it entirely, but a large dividing line of what we were breaking down from approving and not approving was exterior, interior. So obviously paint on the exterior of the building is exterior, so maybe if we knew all of this, then that would have been included in RDA's recommendation.
You don't see an issue with if we decided to add any additional funds, RDA wouldn't have any.
RDA was well aware that they were to just do RDA's work that night, and that the council and finance with all the moving pieces that we're dealing with the TIF, they knew full well that everything they approved that night may not survive here tonight.
So my biggest question is gonna be, I think some of these dollar figures coming from recommendation of RDA is based on the available amount of money for, no?
No,
Jim?
not
Okay.
really. Not really. I mean, we were
There's some
asking
wiggle
days
room
on
here,
what we
saying-
had. And like I said, and I thought when I had read through the application that it said in there something about that it was going to be cited later on, but it may, I'm not sure exactly, but that's why I didn't recommend it to be approved by the RDA. I have no
That makes
problem.
perfect sense if it
Yeah,
wouldn't
I have
make
no-
any sense, yeah.
I have no problem having it,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
making that
Right.
recommendation if that's the case. So,
No, that makes perfect sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to spend money
Yeah.
on something that's gonna get covered up.
right.
I just want to make sure we have the funds. That's where I'm standing.
And that's not black and white. I mean, the district
Okay.
is, there's been,
Okay.
as the RDA was well aware, the district, we spent a significant amount of resources that were on projects that are great projects, but it
Okay.
isn't in the same position that it was 2 years ago when we looked at the forecast for the district. So that's one of the reasons why the redevelopment authority didn't, I think, didn't approve several of them is because of, there's limited funding. So I'm not saying you can't afford this, I'm just letting you know it isn't the same story as what you've been hearing about this district for many years about the fact that the district is very healthy. We've done, in the end here, a lot of really important projects and they've been expensive.
And the question that I normally ask at these meetings and at the RDA is, can we afford it? That answer has changed in the last couple of months because of the amount of projects that are getting done. 2 years ago, everything on the list probably would have gone through without question because of where we were at the time, what we could afford. But now we have some questions that need to be answered before we can guarantee a lot more. So should we vote on this motion, Bill, and then if somebody wants to make a motion to change it, to amend it, or just
Add
make a
something
next,
in.
make a next motion? So just separate motion just for the painting. Or we'll add an amendment into this one? Okay.
If that's what someone wants.
As the person who seconded it, that's what I want. So how do I make that happen?
Well, anybody can make the
Now,
amendment.
yeah, now that it's been, has it been moved and seconded? If it has, then anyone can make the amendment.
To add.
Add or subtract.
So somebody should add back cost of the painting, guys? Just to,
I'm taking me a minute. I gotta find how much it was.
Oh, here.
Whatever.
Page 21.
Okay, I will make a motion
Amend.
to amend, to include the grant for the paint exterior by $2,395. So that's on top of the $10,957.50 that was already approved.
I'll second that amendment.
Yeah. Discussion on the amendment.
I just add, I support it entirely, but as I did at the RDA level, I'm gonna abstain on work at 11 Canal Street because I currently, for the next month, rent a workspace in that building. So I don't own the building. The other financial benefit, but I do rent space.
Are you gonna do the painting?
I'm a fan, she couldn't afford me.
Okay, so no further discussion, we'll vote on the motion to amend.
Shaw,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Abstain.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes 5 with 1 abstention. Now, the original motion
As a,
is amended for the total of 13,352 now.
50.
Yeah,
Don't forget that 50 cents.
50 cents.
50.
can someone remind me who seconded that original motion? Okay, all right, that's what I thought, just wanted to be sure.
So any further discussion on that? Roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Abstain.
Motion passes 5 yeses and 1 abstention.
Okay. Motion to approve supersized ED grants for 20 West Fulton Street in the, based on RDA's recommendation, in the amount of $4,876.26, contingent on work being completed within 1 year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? None, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve a supersized facade and ED grants for 16 Swift Street in the amount of $18,612.50 based on RDA's recommendation and contingent on work getting done within 1 year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? None, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve a supersized facade grant and ED grants for 14 West Fulton Street based on RDA's recommendation in the amount of $38,427.20, contingent on work being completed within 1 year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve supersized facade and ED grants for 21 Henry Street based on RDA's recommendation of $6,880.50 contingent on work being completed within 1 year.
I'll second.
Discussion. None, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve supersized facade and ED grants for 15 and 25 North Main Street based on RDA's recommendations in the amount of $23,120, contingent on work being completed within 1 year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve supersized facade grant for 210 West Fulton Street in the amount of $0 based on RDA's recommendation.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't noticing this was coming on. I wanted to add something that wasn't talked about at finance that needs, that is part of this discussion or reason that was a zero item. It's because the timeline just didn't make sense any longer. We just extended its completion date by a year, so across the street, it went from December 22 to 23. So given that, and the fact that we were scrambling for dollars or knowing the council would be at the RDA level, it just made sense to basically kind of take that off the table. That didn't need to be funded tonight. I'll show my hand here, I could ask for it in the city budget this fall and have it be part of the next city budget. It is, I'll talk about it in the RDA report later. It is, in my mind, kind of a special case when it comes to murals, so I'll cross that bridge when the time comes. Its timing just didn't make sense when there's all these other projects ready to go. It didn't need to compete with all these other things, so that's kind of why it's okay for it to just. And as far as the policy part, I'll get into that later when we talk to RTA, but that's why that's as such.
It's good clarification. It's not that somebody doesn't think it should be done. It's just
Right.
because of those.
And I'm saying by voting 0 here, it doesn't mean that I don't think that someday the city shouldn't put the whole bill.
Sure.
So that's where that's at.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve a supersized facade and ED grants for 110 Henry Street based on RDA's recommendations of $7,441.50 contingent upon work being completed within 1 year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? None, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve policy regarding disposal of surplus items.
I'll second. Any discussion? None, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the minimum bid for Exmark mower in the amount of $4,500 and for the welder in the amount of $1,500.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the purchase of a cemetery lawnmower from Burns Full Service LLC, which was the lowest responsible bidder in the amount of $13,912.69.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the addendum to Cedar Corporation contract for the Henry Street project.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve awarding the Henry Street project bid to BKS Excavating Inc. with a base bid of $671,308.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
And motion to adopt the amended event packet.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
We got quick one. The says stop alcohol sales half hour prior to the end of the event, and the music continues till the end of the event, till midnight. Have we had a policy in the past to stop the sale of the tickets and not the alcohol? Are we changing that, or are we not?
So they'll sell tickets up until 11:30. They can redeem the tickets up until midnight.
Okay,
So
that's
there'll
not,
be no more sale of tickets or cash for alcohol past 11:30.
So maybe it should say.
that's not what it says. Yeah, that's not what it says.
Right.
Our paperwork does not say that. It says alcohol will cease 30 minutes instead of tickets.
So is the goal to have people finish their drink in the last half hour or be able to
Correct.
continue to buy through the last half hour? What's the objective?
We don't, they could redeem the tickets, but they can't.
Okay,
Yeah, there was an issue at Chili
That
Mania
Chili
when they kept
Mania,
selling. That's why we discussed
And
this,
that's why this came up.
to stop the ticket sales, but
But
not.
I don't think we should specify tickets, because if you have an event that isn't selling tickets, if they're just selling the alcohol, you have to specify that there's no sale of, they can't go to the counter and buy alcohol after 11:30 if they're not selling tickets, if they're just, so we have to word it somehow so they know that after 11:30, there's no money exchanged anymore for any alcohol. But you can still drink up until,
We could figure that, but right currently, there's nobody that doesn't sell tickets. They all sell tickets to get redeem
Right.
tickets at the counter.
currently there isn't, but
So if
there
you
might.
said tickets, it would cover it now, but I see what you're saying, but down the road, somewhere, so you
Right.
might just stop that.
You could say no ticket sales or cash sales.
Right, all right, anyway, right. But the point is to continue to sell until the end of the music.
Okay, I'm just want to clarify. Alcohol sales, to me, because of the tickets, that is the selling of the alcohol there. The redeeming is not the sale. So I don't know that I see a conflict. Once you buy the ticket,
You're
you
handing the ticket
essentially
over.
have bought the alcohol.
You're handing the ticket over for a beer, you're buying a beer. with
You
the
already
ticket.
did that.
Right.
Are you not buying a beer with the ticket when you hand it over? You're redeeming the, I mean, you're.
Well, I'm thinking if you're technical, you already, the minute you bought the ticket, you bought the beer. That's when you purchased the beer. The rest of it's just redeeming it. I'm just
So-
saying, I don't see
Yeah.
the conflict, but it certainly could be explained better and.
Well, that's what-
No tickets, yeah.
Well, our discussion, or what we had problem with Chili Mania again, was the sale of the ticket. They kept selling tickets up. He had to stop them at 1:45 or 10:02. Because people were still picking up tickets to run over and grab their beer, but if they stopped a half hour earlier, then you can go get them. I mean, but that was the issue, was that they kept selling them, so people could continue to.
Well, honestly, yeah, I mean, you have to stop
If
them
you stop a
selling
half hour
it.
sooner. So that was the goal, was basically to cut off the ticket sales, but I don't know if that wording, I mean, you guys like that wording, I don't.
That's what the goal was, is to stop the sale of the tickets.
Right.
After 11:30, because people will buy, an arm's length of tickets and they're gonna try and redeem it.
Right. Well, I don't know, maybe it's just gotta. All right, I don't know, maybe I'm reading it wrong. To me, if I'm handing a ticket over, I'm still buying getting a beer for that ticket.
Maybe set up as cash or tickets.
Yeah. No cash exchange after half hour or whatever, no cash exchange, yeah, I know. Yes.
No cash sale or sale of tickets
Right.
after 11:30.
it's 30 minutes before.
30
the
minutes,
close of the
30
event.
or 30 minutes prior to midnight. Because the license is till midnight.
It depends on the event, though. This handles every event, so it's a half an hour before the event is scheduled to close, is the way it's written. So it could be that flexible. If someone has an 11 o'clock event, then it would be 10:30.
Sure.
No cash transactions half hour prior to the end of the.
Right, no cash transfers.
Is that
I
right?
don't find it particularly clear, because it's basically saying that's like last call at a bar.
Yeah.
When are they supposed to leave the grounds? Are they supposed to leave the grounds at midnight, because their license premise expires at that time? So if I get it at 1 minute too, also I have a full beer in my hand?
it would work similar to a bar where you can't leave the premise with the drink. You just have to throw it out.
They'd have to throw it out or.
You work your way to the gate.
Can you continue to drink past 2 at a bar?
No,
Right.
you leave, you can get it, like you get your last call, that 30 minutes is your last call, and you have time to get it. And then when it's time to go, you have to leave. Essentially, that's how it works. So at midnight, when the ground's closed, even if you have a full beer that you just got, if it's time to go, you throw it away and you leave.
It's a little grayer, like the Chili Mania, because you'd be like near where the Chili Mania, you're still allowed to be outside.
Not with alcohol.
Like with a bar, not with alcohol, but you can still like be there with a bar. You need to be on the other side of the door at bar time. And this is different. It's like, okay, I stepped
'Cause you're
down the
exiting.
alleyway. Still shouldn't have beer, but you can actually be there. It's a little bit grayer, but I don't know. I
think the sale of the alcohol occurs when the ticket is purchased. Yeah, that's how I would do it.
Me too.
So if you can claim it up until midnight, claim up until midnight, dump it out, and it's a key at 12:01. I think all sales of alcohol, that's the intent, should be half an hour before the end of the event.
And that's what it says right now, at least, alcohol sales must cease, but if it's clear to the whole group that no cash transactions for alcohol sales, I mean, if that is needed to clarify, then
I just think
It's alcohol sale, I don't care how it is, whether it's cash or a ticket, it's a sale.
We have the
So I think that's
tickets.
pretty
Yeah.
global by saying alcohol
And
sale,
if the
right?
only thing you can purchase with that ticket is alcohol, then essentially, like Paul said, once you purchase that ticket, you're purchasing that alcohol. That's when you've made the purchase, when you exchange the cash.
That is how I would interpret it.
Yeah, that's how I would interpret it too, unless you're allowing somebody to purchase other things using those tickets other than just alcohol.
Right, the whole motivation behind having ticket sales for alcohol is so you can control who is purchasing
Exactly.
the alcohol.
So
So
once you purchase the ticket, you purchase the alcohol, whether you redeem that ticket for alcohol, that's your prerogative, whether you do or you don't, but once you purchase it, you're purchasing the alcohol.
when they come, like committee, I guess, Tobacco Days or Chili Mania come and you basically explain these rules to them. I think we probably should make it clear that they can still serve
Yes.
until midnight, because I would hate to run into a problem completely flip-flop from this, where the bartender's like, no, I can't do this. It's after 11:30. I can't take this ticket.
Right.
And
And
then you're gonna have people that's like, well, I was told as long as I purchased it before 11:30. I'm just trying to head off a little
Yeah,
bit.
so this says sales, it doesn't say redemption,
it'll be
right?
great.
yes,
It hopefully it's clear, yeah.
and I think it's something, because this is something new, will have to be explained to them as we're approving these packets for. a
Yeah,
while.
that's the only thing I was bringing up. So
Yeah.
yes.
When we extend the park hours, which are right now till dusk, close at dusk. We have to probably extend it beyond the midnight, because if we're serving up to midnight, people aren't gonna get out of there right away on the racetrack. So I don't know what hours we have extended them to.
Music stops, and
Midnight.
you just tend to.
I thought it was always
slowly
midnight.
It is,
Was it
it's
not?
always,
Is it not?
it says I've been here.
Park closes or, the event
The
shuts
event
down,
ends
it's
at
midnight.
midnight,
Music
because,
stops,
we
because
had
the
that.
noise has ceased. That's the purpose of it, right?
yeah, that was the big issue last year with Chili Mania, because they went past midnight, and we got a ton of calls about the noise past midnight. So midnight's always been the cutoff for the bands and leaving the parks, and
Sure.
if they want to take a can of beer with them, that's their, they get stopped with it. If they get stopped with it,
Yeah, there you go.
they have to be a responsible adult.
You heard it here on tape. This is recorded. Yes, yeah, for the event. though.
The way it is, the wording the way it is.
Jim, your biggest concern was whether it was a ticket sale.
As long as everybody understands,
It says-
regards it that way or takes it that way, like,
It
I don't want
says-
somebody coming back and saying, we can't get served after 11:30. So yeah, as long as everybody understands that
No,
it goes till midnight, I'm good. I mean,
It's
just,
sale
As long as you're gonna
of,
take it
not
that way.
redemption of.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to impress upon these people applying for these packets too, to say you need to put up some signage to that effect. That at 11:30, we're gonna cut these off so that the people know when they're buying the tickets, like right next to the stand.
Oh, I'm usually there telling them. Because the guys want to go home.
Are we good with the way it is then? Any other discussion on it? Roll call.
Andy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Burdick.
Yes.
Oh, wait, we're not done yet. Ron,
I know I'm usually last, but no.
What?
we're not done
We're
yet.
done.
Ron,
Oh.
yes. Langen,
Yes.
Go ahead.
they get
It
to
took so long in the discussion, we got to count the.
Is there a game on the night or something?
I know. Sounds like it's there.
Did I pass this, Mayor?
I think that passed.
Okay, that is, yeah, your finance.
It would be only 4 votes per time, so it's passed. Already. Well, thank you, and thank you all for coming down tonight. Casey, we'll get that more and drop it off on the way home.
I'd just like to thank the city of Edgerton for supporting my business and my all my ticket or my shareholders. I'm sure it'll come up at the next meeting.
You keep coming in with the lowest bid, we'll keep allowing it.
Okay, library board.
Library board met on Tuesday, April 12th at 6 PM. I had some good discussion. 2 things bringing back to city council is we are in the process of exploring an idea of merging with Arrowhead and Lakeside in terms of the services. This is pretty early on. The expectation is that we will have a recommendation for city council in June sometime.
What would that mean?
To.
It's actually,
Right.
well, our library system and another system are exploring the merger, but the vote would actually be at the county level, the
Oh. pardon me.
counties, but I'm sorry, Edgerton won't need to vote on that, but we currently already share materials, but it would be a more formal merging of our 2 systems.
Oh, I got it, okay, so good. A transparent, something that nobody would know if they didn't,
Probably
as a regular library, user
Yeah,
would come in.
maybe a new
Okay.
logo,
Got it.
new
Got it.
new name.
And then the good news is soon, the summer reading programs are back, and we're very grateful for the generous donations that are allowing us this to happen. So just wanted to point that out as well. So that's everything from the library board.
Thank you. Utility.
Utility met last Monday, but it's basically routine. Pay bills. Maybe a credit here, but nothing to report really.
Thank you. Thank you, Mitch. A few things here to cover. Anybody wants to take that or?
Oh, you're good.
I can't.
Maybe we could say, okay.
Yes.
Well, all you were, huh? From the Maple Court, man. All right, we're gonna make a motion to initiate the process to vacate Maple Court.
Second.
Any discussion?
Is there any other just background on that as to the, no, demo scenes in the detail and something like that would be.
Yeah, the reason you probably saw in the staff report, any kind of street vacation typically causes, and it's a very complicated process because we want to make sure to protect landowners' rights who rely on that right of way. In this instance, IKI owns all the land around this and the road is a dead end street. So we'll go through the process of the hearing and everything. There isn't a real, from the city's perspective, other than ensuring we and all the other utilities have access to the utilities that are going to be behind their fence. This will add an opportunity to provide better security to that site, and the owners are very interested in that. So the Plan Commission didn't see a downside really on behalf of the city. So there'll be certainly an opportunity for anyone who has a concern about it to voice that concern at your public hearing.
Roll call.
Burdick,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
That's six.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading in the City of Edgerton ordinance 22-03, amend section 22.210 official zoning map of the Code of Zoning Ordinances to amend the zoning for the property located at 505 Stoughton Road.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to introduce and approve the first reading, City of Edgerton ordinance 22-04, amend section of chapter 22 zoning ordinance to regulate electric vehicle charging stations.
Second.
Any discussion? None, roll call.
Burdick,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve a 2-lot extraterritorial CSM in section 8 of the town of Fulton on the southwest corner of Dolman Road and Highway 59 for Fegestead.
Second.
Any discussion? None, roll call.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve a 1-lot extraterritorial CSM in section 15 of the town of Fulton on East Dalby Road for Shooty.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Burdick,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
That passes.
Make a motion to approve a 5-lot extraterritorial plat of Olson's Bliven Road addition in section 21 of the town of Albion on the Bliven Road for Olson.
Second.
On the Bliven Road?
Doesn't matter. You should not say that.
What? Okay, so on the Bliven Road for Olson.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Motion passes.
That's it.
Thank you, both. Redevelopment, I think we did most of them, through finance, with all the grants. Anything else?
Yeah, talk about murals. So the policy is, what we discussed at RDA on murals was, we decided that the city would not, based on some of the information that staff provided as to how other cities or how other mural programs are funded and regulated in other cities. We made the decision that the city shouldn't pursue a grant funding program with city dollars. So that took the financial question of murals kind of off the table. That aside, again, that's kind of a special case, but there's enough windows and tuck pointing to do downtown before we get into the mural business. So that kind of takes RDA out of the equation when it comes to future discussions about murals and what they look like and who regulates how long they need to be taken care of. And this hasn't been formalized yet, but unlike some other cities that have mural programs, we have a historic preservation commission. So if you wanted to paint natural, cream brick in the city already, you'd have to go before that committee. I suggested if it makes sense that if historic wants to take this on, that they would be the regulating body. Should a landowner say, I want to put up a mural, and money aside, whether an arts council is paying for it or they're paying for it out of their pocket, the process would be fairly simple and straightforward. You go to historic, you get it approved. And that kind of, with that action at RDA, took some of the mystery out of where we're going with murals.
And when you say get it approved in your head, does that include the actual artwork itself to make sure everybody knows what's going up there and that?
Yeah, and that's, there's free speech issues to take in mind, and I would hope that not everything has to look like it's 100 years old or super historic. I think just anything aesthetic that commissions.
I would say that it would all fall
Dealing
under
with-
the certificate of appropriateness that
Correct.
we deal with often.
Yeah, so we are kind of set up as a city already with that commission to deal with murals. It's just, we haven't.
It's just not written into the
It's
policy
just-
yet,
right.
specifically, yeah.
I think we'll have some meetings to develop that policy. We get some information from other municipalities. I think that'll be helpful. So historic can decide what elements of it they want to regulate.
It's a good thing. Would love to have it be more than just historic approving paint colors. So.
Sarah, that'll be interesting too, with art, you may have to be far more wide scope with colors than what we normally do.
Anything to add to the RDA, Jim?
Nope.
I guess I would say, if I'm about the whole mural thing, I know how soft the bricks are on my building. So I don't know how there'll be some kind of quality control along with the art part of it, if I'm making sense at all. You're not, and Nancy will tell you this as well, just any Joe isn't gonna be able to go in there with a paintbrush. It would, destroy most of our gun line.
There would be
like.
Yeah, there would be
sprayed.
questions of what types of materials you'd be using for the exterior surfaces and that kind of.
Yeah, because you could really mess the side of a building up.
Ironically, Kathy, it was actually brought to us, possibility, I don't know if it was before you bought the building, someone came and said that they may at one point want to draw a mural or paint a mural on that side of the building
It was
facing
me,
this.
it was part of me.
Was it? Okay, I wasn't sure. Was it? I just knew that when I
Well, I
was in
have
the
a
store, that was
fantastic
brought up
picture
one
in my
time.
head, what I want on the side of that.
Okay.
So I only need about $300,000.
She's only over budget by about 50% more, so
Yeah.
I just think a cool $500,000.
I thought it was more
You
the
can
artist
decide,
that actually
though.
came forward, but maybe it
Yeah,
was.
Nancy.
Thank you for coming. You can leave now.
Huh?
That's right. Okay, well, that's it from our RDA. Thanks, Keith. Yeah. Personnel.
Personnel met on Thursday, the 14th of April. And we made the appointment official. We approved the appointment of Brandon Cast. The Caston or Cast? Cast. For the DPW worker position. And he started today, if I recall, correct?
That's correct.
Yep. So that's what it was for personnel.
Thank you. Anything from fire district?
Yes, there is something, this is just an FYI, wanted to give a quick update since the board met the fire district board met last Thursday, the 14th. And Councilman Burdick and I wanted to make sure that this council was aware that a date of Thursday, April 28th has been set for a joint EFPD board, Edgerton City Council, and town boards for Albion, Fulton, Porter, and Sumner where we're gonna have a joint information session to go over the petition that was filed by the city of Milton and the townships of Harmony, Johnstown, Lima, and Milton to potentially join the fire district. So the board's been very busy going through the petition and meeting and going through the staff report. And the staff report includes operational, finance, and governance aspects of the request. And so last Thursday's meeting, the board approved the report. And we want to share out what was included. This will be at the informational session. That will be, we want to share out what was included in the petition, as well as the district's evaluation of the impacts if we were going to consider moving forward, entertaining the petition. So again, the thought is that if we hold this joint fire district for Albion, Edgerton, Fulton, Porter, and Sumner meeting, everybody's going to hear the same thing at the same time. And if there's questions and answers, everybody will hear it. So again, the meeting is Thursday, informational meeting is Thursday, April 28th. Place to be determined, possibly someplace at the school, maybe the EPAC, but we're still firming that up. Prior to that meeting, the informational session, I should call it a session. Well, it'll be a meeting because it will be posted. But prior to that, each of you on the council will receive a packet from our fire chief, Randy Pickering. That will include all of the information, the staff report, a copy of the petition from the petitioning parties, as well as his staff report and our current agreement with the district has right now, and possibly what it could look like if we were to go ahead and move forward with this. So again, Jim Burdick and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You'll be receiving that information. When you do, I think we'll have Ramona send each of you an email, let you know that the packet or the report is in your mailbox that you can pick up. That will be prior to this informational meeting on the 28th. So again, it's just information for you to, something to look forward to.
They
Chief, or Jim?
one other thing they did do was they moved to accept that memorandum of understanding that allowed the president and treasurer to sign to figure out the negotiation rules if we do go on. So if they go sit down and actually negotiate an intergovernmental agency agreement between them, and this is just setting ground rules to get to the table. It's another step, so they're gonna do that. I think they already put it through the lawyers. Everybody's just gonna sign this now. So
I would encourage, and I think Jim would too, everybody, if you can make that meeting on the 28th, it'll be very helpful and informative.
unfortunately, I won't be there.
Yeah, you won't be there, but.
But if I was the only one in the room that couldn't make it, I said, go for it. So they're gonna have it on.
Yeah.
If the rest of that group could be there, so yeah. But
Thank you. Can we move number 9 up? Better do the full session before we do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
We didn't do it during the approval of the agenda. Only it would be up there.
Right.
takes full approval, right? Everybody on there? Takes full approval?
I don't have much other than congratulations to the 3 people that won their re-election to their state years.
Yes.
As
For you.
And happy birthday, Tim.
Oh, I wanted to say that.
But other than that, I didn't have anything else, so. Is anyone that has anything they want to?
April 30th is drug take back day.
See the
Between
poster
10 and
or the
2.
billboards for them, so.
The deposit box is closed right now.
It's open back up. He emptied it today.
Oh, it was closed right before I walked over here.
Oh, I have to talk to
try to
him
get
about that. He probably forgot to open it. He probably forgot to open it. But it'll be behind the scenes in between 10 and 2.
Yeah, I saw Stones is only 2 hours between 9 and 11.
Well, they don't have anybody that's on drugs there, I guess, huh?
They're taking them.
Like somebody from
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay, does anybody else have anything? Otherwise,
This Saturday is the e-waste recycling day at the city. So just in case anybody needed to be reminded.
what's your today? Otherwise, if somebody wants to read number 8, yeah. do that.
You're up, Gideon.
Aren't you sick of hearing from me? Motion, don't answer.
If we could just ask a question as far as the Henry Street project, do you guys have a timeline or a time frame of when that's gonna start? Just so we can kind of have a little bit of heads up.
We don't yet,
For a lot of bids.
we don't yet, but we'll let you know as soon as we do. We have to meet with the contractor and find out about materials availability, and we know we have to work around some big events, so it'll be a project that we're gonna have to fit in between things, so as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
And are the laterals going to, or whatever they're doing with the lead stuff, is that gonna coincide with it all at the same time?
Different contractors, we're gonna coordinate it though.
Okay. But once it does, okay, I have to ask. So once, and I understand that you have to get everything in line and have the contractors given you, like, my contractors will say, oh, this is gonna take 2 weeks, this is gonna take 2 years, this isn't getting done.
We don't have that information yet, right, Howard?
We do not.
That's usually the pre-con meeting is we give them you have to have it done within a window, and then we have the pre-con meeting. In this case, it's a relatively short project compared to the length of the summer.
Okay.
So we'll meet with the contractor and see what time frame they're going to be able to say they'll get it done in, and then we'll try to fit it in between events.
I guess I'm concerned if it's gonna happen like in between June and like the end of August. I guess would be where my concern is lying right now, just because of the fact that's our bread and butter season and it could sway us to have to close the business in the wintertime. Because that's kind of our annual operating budget, them 3 months. I guess that's where our concern is if it hits that time frame.
It's good to know.
With materials, who knows?
Right, and that's, yep.
Could be later this fall. We will keep you informed.
I'm all right with later this fall, if you guys want to.
You want to read that now?
Okay, I will. So make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.851E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session, discuss and consider property purchase.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Sandy Davis,
Yes.
Langen,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Burdick.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Thank you.